Okay. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Michael Music, and we're gonna talk about something that you know is so critical, and sometimes I wonder if I truly understand this, but it's about applied faith. Okay, and this is one of those chapters where you know it really is probably so foundational, coming right after definiteness of purpose in the mastermind. So you know even myself, I've been battling with it, doing these lives consistently every day, and I'm not sure exactly where it's going to take me, but it's the idea of having applied faith to keep on keeping on, and really stick to the purpose in the definite end that I'm wanting to achieve. So um I'm gonna read a couple lines here, and just let me know what you think of them, because this is a very short chapter, but it is so immensely powerful in the way that he says it. And I'm going to really break some of the things down. So Napoleon Hill, he says that your education, your background, your nationality, your creed have nothing whatsoever to do with your ability to achieve. Okay, so nothing, right? My background, doesn't matter. My education, none of that has anything to do with my ability to achieve. Okay. He says that it's the state of mind that you maintain. Okay. Now, I talked about this before, but in Think and Grow Rich, one of the biggest breakthroughs for me was that he kept bringing up the state of mind. Okay. And even here, he says right away, right? It's that secret. It's right there. And so many people miss it. It's that state of mind that you maintain. Okay. So he says that that's the thing that determines how and what and when you achieve. To me, that's the most profound thing in all of the knowledge of mankind. The fact that a person can take possession of his own mind, he can color it in any way he chooses, he can project it into high places or in the gutter, he can make it a success or he can make it a failure. Just the change of his mental attitude will change it from success to failure almost instantly, right? You know, I'm going to break this down because this is so key, right? You can change your mental attitude and you can go from a failure to a success almost instantly, right? What does that mean, right? We're talking about the secret. I'm telling you, this is the secret in Think and Grow Rich. It's the secret that I've been, blessed with being told this numerous times until I finally discovered it for myself. But Napoleon Hill is saying it's that state of mind, right? I'm not a failure until I've truly given up, right? If I, there's this one quote. It actually goes that failure is over the moment you set on a new goal or a new journey, right? It doesn't matter how many times you get hit with temporary defeat. The moment you change your state of mind, you change your mental attitude to go after a new project, a new goal, a new vision, you instantly go from a failure to a success. Okay, so what could be the definition for success? Right? There's this one great definition I love. He says that Earl Nightingale actually said this. He said that success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea. So as long as I stay on, my journey or my path, right? Under that definition, would I be considered a success? Yes. Now, what's so critical here, right? It's what am I focusing on? What is my state of mind? Am I focusing on where I'm going, or am I focusing on the 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 temporary defeat that I've experienced in the past? All right. So everyone has, some sort of old story, some sort of temporary defeat. And none of that, it truly can't hold you back when you understand this idea of holding that state of mind known as applied faith. So yeah, that was something. Okay. So he goes on to explain a story of how he used applied faith, and I'm not going to read it, but I want to just get through some of the key points that he makes in this chapter. Right? He says that a burning desire is the material from which faith is created. Okay, so a burning desire is the material from which faith is created. Now that's a line that it may take you over and over and over to read until you truly understand what is meant by that. A burning desire is the material from which faith is created. Right? Do you have a burning desire? Right? Are you going to have, true faith until you really understand the importance of developing a burning desire? He goes on to say that a burning desire is an obsession. Obsession means a desire that takes possession of you. It obsesses you. Now, there are a lot of desires in the world, but they are not burning or obsessional desires. Most people in their whole lives have never experienced an obsessional desire for anything. We start off with faith. We start off with faint hopes and wishes. Everybody wishes for a lot of money without having to work for it. People wish for a Cadillac when they're driving a Ford. They wish for a mink coat when they are wearing a quilted coat. Okay, so this is even for myself, right? Do I truly understand what a burning desire is, and am I obsessed with the goal, and am I actually going to go achieve it, or am I wishing for these things, right? Am I seeing all these people that are successful, am I just merely wishing that I could have the success that they have without changing or doing what is actually required to get what they have? Okay, so I just, yeah, this chapter is pretty big. It's pretty short, and but it is so critical, right? No one talks about applied faith, right? There's religions out there, and they talk about faith and this and that, but you know like I'm not talking about religion at all. I'm talking about how can I translate my belief in my goal, in my definite purpose, and really make this a reality. Okay, so I'm fast forwarding a little bit. He says that you have to want things, right? You have to want them with a burning desire, and then you have to do something about the burning desire. What is it? All right, what are you going to do about that burning obsession that you have in your soul? He says action. You got to start in right where you stand, showing that you do have faith in your ability. Start right where you stand with action. Wow. Okay. So he gives a few more examples. Now, this is actually interesting. I'm fast forwarding a bit, and I apologize about that, but I'm reading what's sticking out to me. He says, "I don't know why it is that when a person makes up his mind about what he wants and becomes determined to get it, that all the powers of the universe seem to come to his aid and see that he gets it. I don't know why that is, but I know that it is, and that's enough for me. There are a lot of things in this world that I can see and a lot of advantages I can use that I don't understand, but I don't need to understand that. I know which buttons to press to get the result I want. I don't need to know what happens between the pressing of that button and the result. I know that if you can follow the instructions in this philosophy, you'll be able to take possession of your own mind and get the things out of life that you want and make life pay off on your own terms." Sheesh. Okay. So let me break that down for a sec, right? He says that I don't know why it is that once you make a decision and you truly go all in on a decision that essentially you do get what you set out for. He doesn't know why that is, but he knows that it is, right? There's this one great quote. It's I forget who it's by, but it says that once a decision is made, providence moves too. Right? Once you make a definite decision on what it is that you want, they say that providence moves too. And what do they mean, right? It's the simple fact that when you make up your mind about what you want, what you are determined to get, you may not know the how, but you do when you truly make up your mind, right? Maybe this is something I don't understand yet, but when you truly make up your mind, you do get it. You do get it. And that's what he's saying is so critical, right? Because I can read these words and talk about this over and over again, but do I truly get what he's saying that, set out for what you want, go all in on it, and I will get it. It's guaranteed. Okay. Let me fast forward a little bit. Okay, he says that how do you suppose would I know that a person can actually make life pay off point by point on his own terms instead of accepting the circumstances? There's only one way in the world that I could possibly know that, and that's from my own experience. I can tell you sincerely that there aren't any of the best things in this world that I want that I don't have or can't easily get. Nothing at all. Okay, so that's Napoleon Hill's words. I'm not in a position to talk from, this type of experience yet, but one day, that's why I'm recording this. I'm hoping to come back on this video and see, oh, not only can I talk about this stuff, but I can talk about it from experience. He says, what an astounding statement that is in contrast to what I might have said a few years back before I'd learned the secret of getting everything out that I want. There was a time when I was carrying around in my own pocket the matches with which I was setting my house of opportunity on fire, but I didn't know it. I finally got rid of those matches. I began to build a house of opportunity, and the contents of the house resembled a picture of it that I built in my mind, right down to the finest detail. Okay, he says that there's no such thing as a blanket faith. You must have a definite objective, a purpose, a goal before you can have faith in anything. All right, there's no such thing as blanket faith. You must have a definite objective, a purpose, a goal before you can have faith in anything. He says that faith is a mental attitude wherein the mind is cleared of all fears and doubts and directed toward the attainment of something definite through the inspiration of infinite intelligence. Okay, so, do I truly understand faith if I have any fear and doubt cluttered in my mind, right? Think about it like this. Now, I may not be the best person to explain this, but just in terms of the laws of physics, right? If you have this idea of faith in your mind, right? There really is no room for fear and doubt. It's almost like, can you hold a positive thought and a negative thought in your head at the same time, right? It's impossible. Maybe you can flicker back and forth, but you can't hold them both in your head at the same time. So when you truly understand what it means to have that mental state of mind known as faith, and not only be talking about it, but be applying it in your action, right? That's when you can clear out all the fear and doubt in your mind and truly, have laser focus going after what it is that you want. Sheesh. Now, blanket faith. Let's talk about it, right? Am I wishing for things? Am I hoping for things to get better? Or do I have a definite objective, a purpose, a goal, before me? Right? Do I have those things in place already? We already talked about this indefiniteness of purpose, right? Do I have my purpose set out? Do I know what I want to get this year? Do I know what I want to get over my lifetime? Do I have a plan in place? Right? Because I need those factors in order for me to truly have faith. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up pretty soon. He says that faith is guidance. It is nothing more. It is not going to go out and get you, that Cadillac or what it is that you want. Faith is not going to do that, but faith will guide you as to how you can do it, and you will find that there is always a part you must play. The Creator wisely arranged it so that we can produce our own food from the soil of the earth. Everything that we eat, use, or work with comes from the earth. Everything. And infinite intelligence has widely provided a system whereby you can be sure of getting your food out of the soil of the earth. By complying with the laws of nature, you go out and you plant the seed. You plant it in soil that you have examined to make sure that it has the elements that you want in the plant. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna pause there because he's going on and explaining like how you plant something, right? It's not gonna come right away, but you have faith because you planted it. You water that plant every single day, and you water it through your action, and you have the faith that it's gonna grow. It won't grow tomorrow. It may not grow the next day, but you know that it's growing. That's the type of faith that I need to have in myself as I'm going after this idea. Okay. Now I'm going to wrap it up with one more last paragraph. It's going to be about the subconscious mind. He says that faith probably works through the subconscious mind. Why do I use the word probably? Because nobody knows definitely whether it does or not. It is a theory, and for want of a better theory, I'm using it. Faith appears to work through the subconscious mind, which acts as the gateway between the conscious mind and infinite intelligence. My mental picture of what happens when you pray properly is that you first condition your mind, you know what it is that you want, and then you transfer a clear picture over to your subconscious mind. The subconscious is the intermediary, the gatekeeper between you and infinite intelligence. It is the only thing that can turn on the power of infinite intelligence for you. It is the only way you can reach into infinite intelligence in my book of rules. If that isn't correct, as far as I'm concerned, it might as well be correct because that's the way I get it to work. All right. So, faith isn't just a conscious thought that you're having, it's something. This is actually funny, bringing it up from Think and Grow Rich. He actually talks about that faith is produced through autosuggestion. And what is autosuggestion? It's constantly repeating over and over, the desire of what you want. And people use the law of autosuggestion for bad things, and that's how they actually kill themselves. But we're talking about faith, constant repetition of what it is that I want going into my subconscious mind. And that's where the faith is in every cell of my body, right? Do I believe in what I want, and do I show it through my actions? So yeah, that's the conversation today on applied faith. Now tomorrow is going to go over the steps in developing faith. Okay, so he's going to break it down in, okay, maybe I don't have full faith right now, but how can I break it down so that I can actually truly develop this idea of a faith and apply it in every one of my actions as I go through my days? So, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to me. I'm going to leave you with this until we meet again in time and space. Bye, everybody, for now.